Hey guys, I'm Paul the Motor Guy, and welcome to my channel, where I pass on riding tips, practice drills, and defensive riding strategies. Now, I'm a rider coach, a motorcycle sergeant, and owner and instructor at ProRider Central Texas, where we teach police riding skills to civilian riders. Now, let me start by saying that because of your support, my channel has met the requirements to have the community tab. This will allow me to engage with you between videos, which is very exciting. So be sure to go check it out. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to properly use the throttle when doing slow speed maneuvers. So hang tight. Now, with all the advice on how to properly do slow speed maneuvers on a motorcycle, I've noticed that there isn't much out there when it comes to how to use the throttle. So I want to do this video to help riders understand the role the throttle plays when doing slow speed maneuvers. And believe it or not, the throttle plays a very important role. Now, the first tip when it comes to the throttle is that you want to have your RPMs or revolutions per minute between 1200 to 1500, which is what we call reserve RPMs. Now, as I've said before, this does not have to be exact, as long as you're not idling through your turns. Now, let me explain 2 reasons why reserve RPMs are important. Now, the first one is that when you have reserve RPMs, you have power that is stored up, ready to be transferred to the rear wheel. So if I have the motorcycle leaned over and I feel like the motorcycle is going to fall, when I let out a little more clutch, the motorcycle is more responsive because I have that power stored up. Now, the second thing is if I'm in that same scenario and I end up letting out too much clutch, I won't stall the motorcycle, which is never a good thing when the motorcycle is leaned over. Now I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you don't want to idle through your turns. The first reason is that if I'm idling through my turn and I feel like I'm falling and I let a little more clutch out, the motorcycle is more sluggish because there's no power stored up. And the second reason is if I'm idling and accidentally let out too much clutch, I risk the chance of stalling the motorcycle. Now, tip number 2 is you want to have constant throttle. One of the common mistakes I see is that riders will roll on and off the throttle like a dirt bike, which looks like this. Now I'm going to demo what this looks and sounds like when riding using the figure 8 exercise. Now while you're watching, I want you to listen and watch how I am on and off the throttle. All right, so this first example is going to be the dirt bike throttle, the revving. By doing this, it makes things very choppy, and there's one more thing that you have to worry about. When you keep the RPMs consistent, you will notice that the motorcycle is more stable and you can actually feel the motorcycle wanting to stay upright. Now, tip number 3 is you don't want to be looking down at your tachometer to see your RPMs. We need to start listening to our bikes. If you pay attention, it will let you know when it needs more throttle. Now, we all know what it sounds like when a motorcycle is wanting to stall. I want to mention this because there have been many times I've had students idling when making their turns. Now, I could hear the motorcycle sound like it's wanting to stall, but the students never rolled on the throttle. Now, there have been times when this has happened and the motorcycle actually stalled and fell over. The point is, if I could hear the motorcycle asking for more throttle, why couldn't the student? Now, I think it's because we are not really used to listening to our motorcycles. Again, I would rather have too much throttle than not enough. You can always roll off the throttle if you feel like it's too high. The more you practice your throttle control and listen to your motorcycle, you will learn what proper RPMs sound like. Now, I'm going to ride the figure 8 exercise again to demonstrate what having constant RPM sounds like. But this time, I want you to notice how my RPM stay constant and how my throttle doesn't move through the entire exercise. Now we're going to go with the steady RPMs, the way it should be done, steady RPMs. Now, I did a video on how to properly grip the throttle for better control. Now, if you haven't seen that video, be sure to go check it out after this video. I will leave a link up top and in the description below. I hope this video helped you understand the important role the throttle plays when doing slow speed maneuvers. Let me know in the comment section below if you've had problems with this. And until next time, practice, 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 and ride safe.